Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is all going to be about my 2025 reading goals, all my anticipated reads, and the 25 books I want to read in 2025. So let's get to it. So we're going to start off with my reading goals. So for this year, I think I'm going to stick with the same reading goals last year, which is 85 books. I already read 2 books this year so far, so this is very exciting. This is my list of reading goals I would like to accomplish. My genre of focus for 2025 is I really want to get into more fantasy books. I feel like for the past 2 years, I've been reading a lot of romance and thrillers, which is not bad, but I feel like my fantasy reading has been severely lacking, so I really want to get back into that because I used to love fantasy books in high school. So one of my goals for my 2025 reading is I really want to branch out into different genres, more types of representation like disability. I really want to widen my repertoire and be like, just expand into new things. Starting with one of my most anticipated reads that I really want to get to this year is When the Moon Hatched. I've seen this book everywhere on Bookstagram, on TikTok, and I just cannot wait to read this. It's about dragons, so obviously I am totally invested. The cover is absolutely beautiful, and I just cannot wait. I got it for Christmas, and this is definitely one of the books I have to complete in 2025. Some authors I am dying to read, obviously Fonda Lee wrote Jade City, which I just read last year, never got to it, so this year I am determined to read it. Another author I'm dying to read is R.F. Kuang. She wrote The Poppy War, Yellow Face, I think Babel, and I'm just so excited to read her books. I have been prolonging reading Babel since like 2021 when it was released. Excited to read it, so I'm definitely gonna get to those books this year because I've heard such a heart-wrenching, amazing things about The Poppy War, and I like having my heart ripped out my chest, so I'm so down for these books. This one is this one called Phantasma, I think that's how you pronounce it, and this book was everywhere back in like October, and I've been really wanting to read it. I think it's like Hunger Games kind of style book. Whoever wins kind of gets their like wish granted with a phantom love interest, and I'm like, hello? A ghost love interest? I have to read this, and it sounds so amazing and action-packed and hot, and so I'm just so excited to read it. The next one is one I have been dying to read forever and ever. I'm actually starting this book this weekend and I'm so excited, and it is Heartless Hunter. Book 2, Rebel Witch, I think is coming out next month, so I have to get to it. I got the ARC for Rebel Witch, so excited. I think it's a YA book, which honestly YA books have been hitting so hard for me recently, like Belladonna and Once Upon a Broken Heart. I've been loving this genre, and I'm so glad to kind of continue with this one. I'm predicting it's a 5-star read. So it's about a witch and a witch hunter, which obviously really sounds amazing. So John Gwynne is a high fantasy author who I actually own one of his books, but I cannot find it right now. I own Malice, but I really want to read the Shadow of the Gods series. The covers are absolutely gorgeous, and I feel like this book is just going to kickstart me into adult high fantasy. I'm just absolutely going to love these books. I have actually no idea what they are about, and I love going into books blind, so I'm very excited. So I'm gonna be honest, I am more of a standalone book girl. I don't mind big series, but when they get too huge, I kind of start to get turned off by them. So I am more of a standalone, one book, be done with it. And one fantasy book, I had it on my TBR last year, The Sword of Kaigen, old traditional Japanese setting with about a mom, and it's like a female rage, I think. And I've honestly heard the fight scenes in this book are epic and amazing, so I just cannot wait to read it. Such high hopes for these books. I really just want to fall back in love with this genre, and I think these books are just going to do it for me. Some anticipated reads I really want. I have like a whole list I written down. Obviously the first one being First Time Caller comes out next month. I actually got the ARC for it, so I'm so excited to read this ARC. I absolutely love this author. Another anticipated read I'm dying to read is One Golden Summer. So if you are a huge fan of Carly Fortune and Every Summer After, this book is about Charlie, which is the brother of the main character in Every Summer After, and I've been dying for his book because he played a huge role in Every Summer After with the conflict, so I just cannot wait to see his story and like maybe fall in love with him. This book's gonna be so good because I feel like Carly Fortune's books have like been kind of hit or miss for me, so I feel like this one's gonna be it. I'm predicting 5 stars for this one. I literally loved One Dark Window so much, and I have been dying to get my hands on a new release by Rachel Gillig, and she has one coming out this year which I'm dying to read. The cover is absolutely stunning. It's called The Night and the Moth. I already know by the cover it's gonna be fantastic. Rachel Gillig writes the best gothic fantasies, so also this one is another gothic fantasy. I think it's about prophets and knights and gods and trying to defeat gods. So excited to read this one. Next one, and this one is coming out soon, and it is Out of the Woods. I have been dying for this book. It is a second chance romance. A marriage is kind of falling apart. I really love the trope marriage in crisis, so I'm so excited to read Out of the Woods. Out on the Limb is one of my favorite books ever. It's probably my favorite romance. It's so cozy, so perfect. This book is the one that made me love surprise pregnancy trope. I know it's really hated on, but this book slayed it to the ground. So when Out in the Woods was announced, this book is about a couple in this book, which Wynn's best friend Sarah has been married to Caleb since they're like high school sweethearts. So this book is gonna be about them and their marriage. I'm so excited for Out in the Woods. There's a lot of sequels I really want to finish. One of them is the third book coming out, Ella Kennedy's newest book, which is part of the Graham Effect and Dixon Rule. It's called Charlie Meth, and I'm so excited for this book because I already know it's going to be so good. It's going to be so hot. We've met the two characters in the Dixon Rule and the Graham Effect, and they're already hilarious and amazing. So I just cannot wait for their book. Another one I really want to read is the Maple Hill series, Icebreaker, Wildfire, and now Daydream. I've been dying to read this one. I absolutely love Henry from Icebreaker. He made me laugh. I want to marry him so bad. I'm so happy I have his book in my hands because I know he's gonna be the greenest of green flags I will ever read in my life, and I'm just so excited. I also love we have some like curvy girl representation. She's wearing a Taylor Swift cardigan. The cover is so beautiful. It's like a cotton candy vibe. So I already know it's gonna be amazing. I really want to read this for Valentine's Day, so I'm just so excited to pick it up. Another release coming out in 2025 is Deep End, which is Ellie Hazelwood's newest romance, which is about like swimmers. This book has been on my mind since the day it was announced, and it comes out next month, and I'm just like dying to read it. So many books come out in February. It's honestly a little overwhelming because I want to read them all and I just can't because I'm not a robot and I read very slow, but I just know this book is be so good. I also want to read it hopefully for Valentine's Day, but we will see. Last year in 2024 I fell in love with cowboys, so I really want to continue that vibe into 2025. So the cowboy kind of romances I want to read. The first one is Holding the Reins by Paisley Hope. I've been dying to read this book. There's 2 books out right now. The second one just released and I absolutely love the cover, so these are both on my TBR. The next one is obviously Downpour. I feel like this one is great disability because the main character, the love interest, is in a wheelchair, so again disability representation, which is something I really want to focus on in 2025. So another cowboy romance, Facing the Wild. So I love these covers and I have been following the author on Instagram for a long time, so I definitely want to read this book. These are the kind of cowboy romances I really want to read. Oh my god, also Wild Side, which is Elsie Silver's newest book, and I know this book is gonna kill me because I am so in love with Reese. He's like this grumpy guy. We already met Tabitha and we got to really know Tabitha in Wild Eyes, and her story already broke my heart. So I already know her book is going to break me into a million pieces and put my heart in a blender and just throw it out the window. So I'm just so excited to just read it because, you know, I like to cry. The person that Elsie Silver chose like her inspiration to be Reese literally killed me because like it's this wrestler guy. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know who he really is, but when I saw him I actually died on the floor dead, and I was like, oh my god. So it made me love him even more because if I'm gonna picture this man the whole time, like amen. I'm just so excited. Another book I'm also been dying, another romance, If Not For My Baby, which is supposed to be a Hozier inspired romance. When I saw Hozier, I like died, so obviously I have to read it. Obviously it's on my TBR, comes out August 5th, so put that on your TBR if you're a Hozier fan because this cover looks stunning, beautiful, amazing. Wanted to get some more diversity, obviously. And one of the books I found that I really want to read is A Gangsta Loveless World. So it's about a young woman who is a refugee who's trying to make a better life for herself and for her family throughout the Middle East, and I feel like that's just something I really want to read because I've heard such great reviews. On my reading goal list is to crack down my physical TBR, and Iron Widow has been on my TBR for years. I don't have it with me right now, but the cover is so beautiful. I think it's a sci-fi fantasy book and I am dying to read this. Like, someone marketed to me as female rage and like give it to me, give me all the female rage. Romance book I really want to read is A Truth According to Ember. So this is a Native American romance, which I have not seen that many, and when I saw this one I was like, hello, I need to read it right now. So I am so excited. I'm definitely going to be on my TBR. Again, I really want to read it for Valentine's Day because it just sounds perfect for Valentine's Day. I do not know if I'm gonna get to it on time, but I really hope I do because the cover is absolutely stunning, beautiful, love it. Another book I am dying to read is Unromance. Book just came out I think a few days ago and I absolutely love the cover. I don't know why the guy on the cover kind of reminds me of Glenn Powell, and I think that made me want to read it more. The cover is absolutely stunning and I really want to read it, and it's so beautiful. If you would like to see my full list on Goodreads of all the books I want to read in 2025, you can go description box, so you can click on it and go to my 2025 TBR and you'll see all the books I want to read. I think it's like almost 200. So many books I want to read this year. Oh my god, I almost forgot another fantasy book I'm dying to read, For She Is Wrath. First of all, the title, amazing. I love it so much. The cover is beautiful and I just cannot wait to read this. This is a Pakistani romantic fantasy. It's a retelling of the Count of Monte Cristo. I have not read, but it sounds interesting, and the cover just blew me away. I absolutely love it. I just cannot wait to read it. So I want to read this sometime this year. My camera actually died, but so I'm using my phone. But this is the end of my TBR. These are all the books I really hope to read in 2025. If you like my video, please like, comment, and subscribe. What are the books you want to read in 2025? Thank you for watching my video. Bye guys.